the city crazy, period. Like everybody crazy or they city crazy, but just think not only was he from Milwaukee, like close where I grew up at, but the street that he come from is called Kilbourne.
Real life. It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. Know what time it is.
Pimpin, Ken. And you brought someone with you, man. The Ronnie Bo. Once again, we about to go into your story, but first and foremost, I'd like to let people reintroduce themselves. So if you don't mind, Ken, we'll start with you.
Yeah, my name is Ken Ivey. A lot of people know me as Pimpin Ken. I've been on 80 million records sold. I did Sabrina Baby Boy with Who Kid and my man 50 Cent. I did Lil Jon, 5 Pimp C's, 1 with Bun B, and 5 albums with Pastor Troy. I'm currently got 4 movies coming out called The Making of the Autobiography of a Celebrity. And I also signed Boosie to a literary book deal, and also Ice-T and Corey Wise. And I'm the founder of the Hip Hop Fraternity, one of the biggest organizations in the United States. And we currently have a global reach of over 60 million people that we've reached over the years. And we have 20,000 members and 38 executives and 38 CEOs and 100 executives. Shout out to the Hip Hop Fraternity, all my brothers and brother CB Gray.
Shout out to the Hip Hop Fraternity, the Hip Hop Fraternity Awards. Your accolades keep on growing. Keep on putting them on there.
Yeah.
But if you don't mind introducing yourself.
I'm just Ronnie Bo from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I grew up like in the area Jeffrey Dahmer was from. Like when I was like 6, that's around the time he got locked up. So I grew up hearing about how Jeffrey Dahmer was having black dudes come to his crib and he'd put stuff in their drink, chop them up and kill them. So that's where I'm from. But my hood is actually 10th and Ring. We call it Dime Bag. You know what I mean? It's a lot of legendary stuff that happened from that neighborhood. Like, for example, back in like the late 80s, early 90s, in that era, Larry Hooper had sent certain individuals to Milwaukee and they end up like residing like in my area. So that's what, and my family, not a lot of my family, but I have family that come from that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the history.
And you did time with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Man, we're about to get into it then. Geez Louise. First and foremost, with the area that you grew up in, with that situation happening with Jeffrey Dahmer, did that leave like a stain in that community for like decades going forward?
Yeah, it still is. Like the movie or whatever came out a couple years ago, so that's when people really start finding out about it. But like I grew up in that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like what he was doing, and the city crazy, period. Like everybody crazy or they city crazy, but just think not only was he from Milwaukee, like close where I grew up at, but the street that he come from is called Kilbourne. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably didn't even pay attention to that shit, but it's like, I ain't no conspiracy theorist or nothing, but it's like, did they plant the nigga in the hood or something? Or in the ghetto, like right there, it's called Kilbourne, and this where like the world's most notorious serial killer come from. You know what I mean?
Are those apartments still around?
No, they tore down the actual apartment building that he was in. They even tore down where he worked at. He worked at a chocolate factory in Milwaukee. And they were saying that he could have been putting like human remains in the chocolate and shit. So they not only tore down the whole apartment building where he stayed, but they tore down the job, the whole building that he worked at, you know what I'm saying?
They should have took the elementary too.
Did he look threatening when you seen him?
No, that's the thing about him. Nobody felt like he looked threatening or nothing like that. But like us, like y'all seem like y'all really from the streets or whatever. Like we have like this gift of discernment where we could like size a person up and tell like, okay, this person weird or this person a gangster or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you just know. But according to people who knew him, it's like he seemed harmless. But if I looked at him, like when I see his pictures or see his interviews, I'd be like, man, you could tell dude was weird as fuck, you know what I mean? Like, why was people even going to his house anyway? You know what I'm saying?
That's real long. And Ken, you have an interesting story how y'all even met from the Milwaukee streets.
So, okay, all the dudes in the mill, right, they respect me, right? So they be calling me and he'll tell you I go to all the hoods and fuck with all the niggas, you know. My family, you know, like he said, Larry Hoover, now my cousin, Ike Taylor, you know what I'm saying? He all them, you know, all my family in that shit, my cousin G Gub, you know, they do something, you know what I'm saying? And I got cousins on the other side, you know, the vice lords and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, me, I when I was in the penitentiary, I fuck with the Moors. So I love my brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? So I be in the hood every day to the day. So little homie, I seen him and shit, you know, he would run up to me like, man, I'm writing a book and shit, you know what I mean? And, you know, I sided him off and like, man, I holler at you, you know, he just kept on being pursuant. And then, you know, he asked me to come on Dimebag on 10th Street. So I went down there. His brother just got killed. You know, he was showing me where his brother got killed when he, you know, we be grinding that and shit. And all the time, I didn't know that at one time, you know, he was plotting to rob me, you know. And I didn't find that out actually until we took that long road trip. So, man, I'm gonna let him tell you about what happened because it was shocking to me.
Can't be forgetting the timeline and details though. Like we met way before that. You know what I mean? Like the incident in the hood by then, I love this nigga like a brother. So I wasn't trying to rob him then. I was trying to rob him
before that. No, I ain't saying then. I'm saying before then.
Yeah. But I ain't know you then. I just like as far as like as a brother, like as a friend, like
so they can get
I knew of him as Pimpin' Ken. Like he was the most, especially back then, like he was the most famous person in our city. You know what I mean? So it's like, I never had met him personally, but I had seen him like he in the trenches like one day and he got his chain on and shit. And I was a dope boy, but like if I see something that looks sweet and I got it on me, like I you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I robbed back then. Like that was the culture back then. Like robbing was in style back then, you know what I'm saying? But I seen him and it looked like, man, this nigga had on, back when Coogee was like, I don't know if y'all familiar with Coogee up here, but that was our thing. That was our thing back then. So he dressed, you know what I'm saying? He got diamonds and shit on. So I'm looking like, oh, this nigga crazy. He slipping, he right in the trenches. So I got out with intentions to rob him. But when I saw who he was, I'm like, dawg, you Pimpin' Ken. I couldn't do nothing but embracing and showing love because I looked up to him. I had never met him, but as a 16-year-old, it's like, shit, this Pimpin' Ken. Like, I'm finally meeting him. I couldn't rob him no more. And then when I got back to the car, like, how me and my guy used to do it, like, we'd take turns and, like, we'd do our own thing and just watch out for the other in case anything happened, police or somebody trying to help, you know what I mean? So I got back to the car, bro. It's like, why you didn't do shit? You know what I'm saying? That's the only time I didn't do shit. So I'm like, bro, that's Pimpin' Ken, bro. Like, he like, so nigga, that's even more reason. I'm like, bro, nigga, you tripping. That's Pimpin' Ken. And he wasn't just known as a pimp, like he was known as a brother of the struggle and he was a gangster in his day. So like you respect other people like that. So it's like, not that I fear anything happened to me, but it's like, it's not worth it. This is Pimpin' Ken. Like, why would I rob him where I could get more out of trying to bond with dude or getting annoying because he was so influential and he had so much shit established. Just like, why would I rob somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
No, what's one of your craziest robbing stories? Like, has you ever had like a good one or one where
I got a crazy one where like I got a heart too, so I was finna cry afterwards like a little bitch, but I had robbed this dude, caught him walking out the check cashing place. And it's like, you could tell when people going in to cash their checks and shit, you watching the whole time. So I knew he had a little money on him. So when he came out and I robbed him, like while I was robbing him, he like, I was only 15, so he like, young brother, please don't do this. Like, I gotta pay my rent, I got kids, I got a wife, and I'm thinking like, damn, but in a robbery, you can't try to compromise with nobody. It's like, bro, I'm not trying to hear that shit. Give me that shit where it's finna go down. So he just gave it to me. But afterwards, I felt so bad. Like, I didn't even want to rob no more after that. Like, I felt so bad, like, damn, this nigga just pleaded for this little money. Like, he really needed it. He probably really had to pay rent and shit. So, yeah, I got sentimental about that, to be honest.
How long after that did you do another robbery?
It wasn't on a daily basis, but again, it's like hustling and selling dope was on a daily basis. But robbery was just like, if
I fuck up the pack.
You gotta come up with
either, not even that, but if it's like I said, in Milwaukee, most people, even before the gun laws became what they is now, like most people who was in the streets kept a gun on them. So if something came up and it's like, this is an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? This sweet, it's elite, you know what I mean? Like, I capitalize on it, but that wasn't my thing. Like, I was a dope boy, that was my thing, but robbing, like, if it came up, yeah, I'd do what I had to do.
Have you ever been robbed?
No, like, well, as a kid, yeah, this grown man, and I was only like 12 then, but a grown man, he came up on me with a knife. And then I had, even though I was 12, I probably would have reacted differently, but I had like my 3-year-old little cousin with me, and then I had like a 10-year-old cousin. They both female, so it's like, I can't let this go the wrong way. They only wanted to rob me for a bite though, but it's like, yeah, he grown, I'm outside, and then I don't want nothing to happen to them, so go and take the bite. But I got up with him after that though, you know what I mean?
Come on, now for real.
movie for that. What got you jammed up for you to go do your stint that you sat with Kels?
That particular time, I got indicted in 17, and then I ended up, he ended up in there. I was in MCC Chicago before he came. He ended up coming like in probably July or August of 2019. So from there to, I left to Gilmer, West Virginia, actually where DMX was locked up at. I just was watching an interview with his wife. She just put a book out or whatever, so shout out to her for that. But yeah, they sent me there in May of 2021. And between like July of 19 and May of 2021, however much time it is, probably like 21, 22 months, I was there with R. Kelly the whole time.
What was the crime that you committed to get to land there?
Drug distribution. It wasn't no conspiracy though, so it was just distribution of a controlled substance, which was heroin.
All right, so we want to, because again, that's just interesting, the fact that to have you on the couch and to say that you were there when R. Kelly went in. When someone like R. Kelly comes in, does everyone kind of like get a win that he's coming, or do you know like right when he lands, or like the CEOs be like?
They was talking about it the day he came, but I thought everybody was joking because niggas do like all type of people. This MCC Chicago, this the third biggest city in the United States of America, you know what I mean? And you have, I'm not saying it's all tycoons here. You got peons there too, but you meet a lot of big people like El Chapo, his cartel members was there. You know what I mean? He was even there, but they knew he was connected to that city, so they had to move him like New York or somewhere. But yeah, like when he came in, it's like, man, people saying it like R. Kelly here, but I'm really thinking they playing like, and wasn't feeding into it till people kept saying it. And then a couple days later, it's like, man, dude, really, you know what I'm saying? He really in this motherfucker, like where he at? And he was in PC at the time.
How long did he stay in PC from what you know?
It wasn't long. I'm gonna say probably 30 to 45 days. I was one of the ones helping him get out of PC though, because I was a book author already. And then I wanted to write a book on his side of the story. Then this nigga, he done signed Lil Boosie, Ice-T, and he was a literary agent for the biggest publishing company in the world, basically at the time. So it's like, man, I fuck with Pimpin' Ken. This nigga R. Kelly in the feds with me. I write books, like this an opportunity to put out a major book, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't trying to sign me off my story, but I felt like being with R. Kelly tied into my story as far as me being locked up with him, it's like, let me call bro and see if you know what I'm saying, he'd do that. So we was talking about that even in there, you know what I mean? But bro never made a move on it, and R. Kelly never really made a move on it as far as signing no agreement with.
So you said you were instrumental in having him get out of PC. What moves were you trying to make for him to get out of there? And did he want to get out and be in Gen Pop?
They were saying he was scared at first, but like I've been tied in with the GD since before I was a teenager, really. It's just like my family grew up in that shit. So it's like I automatically grew up in it, you know what I mean? But when you get there, that's one of the first things they ask you, like, what you is. Even though I'm from Milwaukee, I'm indicted in Chicago. It's like Milwaukee is a GD city. How I grew up in my neighborhood. I know certain members who really knew Larry Hoover and was really fucking with Larry Hoover. So it's like, I let niggas know I'm not GD no more because we don't gangbang in Milwaukee like that. But that's how I grew up. So it's like, shit, that's how you grew up. You tied in then. You regardless, we responsible for you if something happened to you. So you tied in with us. And if you know, you 100 paperwork good, then shit, it's all love. You need anything, we got you. So I was tied in with them, and then I was cool with like all the other leaders of these other organizations as far as the Vice Lords, the Latin Kings, Blackstones, Moles or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I was cool with everybody who was somebody up in there. So once I expressed that I really wanted to do on general population and why, it's like, shit, we fuck with Bo. You know what I mean? This nigga be helping us with our cases, telling us we can sue for shit. You know what I'm saying? He 100, paperwork good. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what he want to do, then we'll make sure nothing happen to dude. And once R. Kelly knew that, because it's certain ways you get a message through to people. Once he knew he'd be okay, though, he put the petition in with his lawyer, and they got him right up out of there.
When you mentioned paperwork, but R. Kelly's paperwork isn't that good.
I wasn't talking about R. Kelly paperwork, but even then, like, his paperwork didn't have no evidence of none of this shit. And I'm looking at him like how I look at how they did Tupac. They put a sex case on Tupac. They put a sex case on Mike Tyson. They put a sex case on Kobe Bryant. They put a sex case on Bill Cosby. They put a sex case on Michael Jackson, the king. Still the most famous man in the world. So why am I look at another nigga who come from my same struggle and automatically judge him as guilty when I don't even know? You know what I mean? So let me see your paperwork. Like,
so wait, you ain't seen that video back in the day with him possibly, allegedly pissing on a underage minor? Urination.
I mean, I ain't really see it. You know, I wouldn't even be interested in watching no shit like that. But
Facts.
I heard about it and we talked about it.
Yeah, because the mentality, and again, this is no one who's ever sat in the feds or been in prison or thing. They think that automatically when you have any type of jacket where you dealt with child porn, anything child pedophilia,
Yeah, but look, bro, I talked to him about that, and not to justify none of that shit because that's not right. And I'm a father of a daughter for the last 2 years, so I know how I feel now to have a daughter, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that shit wrong, but at the same time, like how he was explaining how shit go in the industry, like you probably already know or you probably heard shit, but sometimes you will be at these parties. Like if you look on my Facebook page, I was just at a big party with motherfucking billionaire white people, and you know, my girlfriend a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? She ain't no billionaire, but she doing good, you know what I mean? As far as in that type of society, but like certain parties, not that the shit was going on at that particular party, but certain parties, when you around certain people and motherfuckers got all this money and power, they feel like we partying, we can do whatever the fuck we want to do. And sometimes, like, if other people ain't trying to party how they want to party, they'll make ways for you to party with them. They'll put some shit in your drink, and then you don't know what you doing. So according to him, you know what I mean, not that he admitted to being on no motherfucking tape, but he was just explaining, like, in certain situations in that industry, bro, like, you would be drugged up, and then you would do something you normally want to do, and they'd come to you and use something as a bribe and say, look, if you don't want to be with this agenda and do what we want you to do, then we got this on you. You didn't even know about this because your ass was out of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, we got this on you. And sometimes it be worse than the R. Kelly tape. Sometimes you done let a white man suck your dick or something like even you worse than you that you can't come back from. So I'm not using that to justify, but another thing is that when I was growing up, not that it was ever okay, you know, I got, like I said, I got a daughter now, so I see things way different than I saw even 2 years ago. I never thought it was okay, but when I was 14, I was fucking with girls who was 14, and I was realizing they was fucking with dudes who was 30. So it's like, I've been seeing this type of shit in my environment where I come from. So it's like, it was like, y'all, not y'all in particular, but the public at large, the mass public, they can judge dude, but some of them was doing the same shit at worse. Whether you was male or female, either a lot of these males who would judge dude, they was fucking a young bitch, whether she was 16 or whatever. I saw it, you know what I'm saying? Niggas who I looked up to. And then even the females, like most of the females, like they be holding in so much pain and trauma, but a lot of them done been touched or raped when they was 14 or younger than that, you know what I'm saying? So they know, you know what I mean? And for the females, I could see why they'd look at R. Kelly a certain way if he did that, especially like if it happened to them. But a lot of them females in his shit though, I saw the paperwork, like it was.
Nah.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move. Hey.